I'm here with Kris Venne, and Kris writes one blog post every 2 years?
Every 3.5 years.
Every 3.5 years, Kris drops a blog post, and people wait, right?
It's like the solo Wu-Tang album that Martin Shkreli has. Like, that's how it is from now on.
People are waiting for this as long as they waited for
bated breath.
Chinese Democracy from Guns N' Roses. Almost to the point where it doesn't matter.
No.
Like, you almost shouldn't have written it.
I'm on everybody's reader, and they're just every day checking to see if it populates.
But so you did write a blog post.
I did.
And I read it, and I thought it was really good. And I wanted to ask you to get into it because it's a topic that I read everything about the industry. Like, nobody talks about this. But so Kris did this thing about how one of the biggest challenges for financial advisors right now and going forward is going to be convincing their clients that it's actually time to spend. So what were you talking about?
So we talk about behavior all the time. Behavior is like the most important topic when it comes to saving and investing and accumulating, how you react to volatility, how you should be checking your account less frequently.
Right, everyone's talking about the behavior of people as they're saving and investing.
It's the biggest topic, and everyone has 56 different things they've said or written about it. But when it comes to thinking about the next phase, when it comes to getting out of accumulation and into decumulation, into spending money, I think that it's fair to say that most people without a good push are going to have a lot of trouble doing it. Maybe we're skewed because of the fact that the people who read financial blogs as their hobby,
they're a little bit more aware.
They're a little bit more aware. Maybe it's because they're nervous. Maybe it's because...
But so why do so somebody that's managed to accumulate millions of dollars and they're now firmly in retirement and they've got all these financial goals, you were pointing out that you look through the financial planning software, all those goals are there, fully funded, and the goals are not even being executed on. Like, people are just not doing it.
It's not that they're unable to afford these things, they're just unwilling to pull the trigger and execute on it.
Like what? Like
everything from home renovation to big trips to just all the different things that clients are explaining to the advisors. One day I'd like to take my family on this big trip to California. I want to take a trip every other year with my wife to wherever.
Right, so they express that to you or to their financial advisor in 2013 or 15, and then time goes by and it's like, have you done this? Because we funded it. And
well, what happens is people see their paychecks stop, right? They've resigned a job or left a job they've worked at for sometimes decades and had a lifestyle based on a paycheck coming in. All of a sudden that paycheck's not there anymore. And whether or not they've got $5-6 million in an account, even if it's not that much, it's very difficult to switch that mindset from saving and accumulating to, all right, I'm going to turn this into a stream of income.
Right, you're saving for 30 years, and then somebody tells you to stop.
Stop.
What?
You did it well.
You know why that's so true? My father-in-law, who was very good about saving, not spending, like just one of the smartest people in my life. He leased a new car and then retired a year later. He had 2 years left on the lease, and it drove him crazy to the point where I took the lease from him. I had a fully paid for a Jeep, and he's not driving it. So he said, "All right, you know what? This is your car now. I'm going to take over your lease payment." And the money was irrelevant money to him, but I just feel like it was here's the thing I'm now spending money on without having a check coming in.
Think about the habits that you've accumulated. You're 41?
You don't want to know about that.
Well, think about the habits you've accumulated and how difficult they are to break. Imagine a habit that's consequential, like the money you've saved for retirement, and every 2 weeks a paycheck comes in and it deploys money into a 401k, and all of a sudden that stops. Okay. And now you're like, all right, I'm going to take this money and I'm going to do what with it? I'm going to start spending this? Are you out of your mind?
Yeah, no way. It took me all this time to save. I'm not
going to touch this. And we have clients who I think are going to require some pushing.
All right. So let's wrap this up with what do you do about it if you're the investor, and what do you do about it if you're the investment advisor? So in the two different roles.
Starting with the advisor. If you're the advisor, you have so much technology available at your fingertips, whether it's financial planning software, whether it's just projecting out returns, where if you are pushing the client away from this day-to-day worry about what the markets are doing and figure out, all right, you could comfortably get away with spending whatever amount it is from your total portfolio, rather than focusing on, month-to-month budgeting, just big picture, get people comfortable.
Like, you can
with
do
the
this,
amount.
go do it.
You
You
could
should,
spend-
you should do this now.
You could spend 70 grand a year with a 90% probability and not worry about it.
No, okay, so now what would you say to somebody who's the investor?
I
Who's
think-
just like, yeah, I know my advisor said I can do it, but,
If you're the investor, you need to get away from this idea that it's in the future. It's now. When you're talking about someone who's
Yeah.
60-something years old,
yeah, what are you waiting for? You're not
How-
gonna be in better health, 10 years from now.
you're not going to have more energy to do the things you want to do. You're not going to have more enjoyment out of it as you age. It's just the way life works. It's finite. You have this chunk of time. Use it.
So I think what Chris is saying is get the boat.
Get the boat tomorrow.
Do the boat.
Do the boat.
Do the boat. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.